Turns out aliens don't like the taste of enriched uranium, Captain Harris quipped, his voice crackling over the comms. Guess we finally found their kryptonite. The bridge of the UNS Perseverance buzzed with electric tension, a mix of nervous anticipation and grim satisfaction. The target was the Kether base on Alpha Centauri Prime, a thorn in humanity's side since the war began. The decision to launch the nuclear missile had been fraught with moral and strategic debate, but desperation had finally tipped the scales. Commander Elena Rodriguez stood at the center of the bridge, eyes fixed on the main screen. The countdown clock displayed mere seconds until impact. Around her, officers worked with practiced precision, but the usual banter was absent, replaced by the quiet hum of high-stakes warfare. Impact in 5, 4, 3. The countdown officer's voice was steady, masking the collective breath-holding of the crew. On the screen, a white-hot flash illuminated the alien landscape. The missile struck the Kether base with pinpoint accuracy, triggering a blinding explosion that sent a mushroom cloud billowing into the alien sky. For a moment, it seemed as though time itself had paused, the universe holding its breath alongside the human crew. Then the shock wave rippled outward, a cataclysmic wave of destruction that vaporized everything in its path. The Kether base, once a formidable stronghold, was now a smoldering crater. There was no cheering on the bridge, only a heavy silence as the reality of their actions settled in. Direct hit, Lieutenant Chun reported, breaking the quiet. The base is gone. Good, Rodriguez replied, though her voice lacked its usual steel. Initiate post-strike analysis. I want to know if there are any survivors and what kind of response we can expect. As the crew busied themselves with their tasks, the tension began to dissipate, replaced by a somber focus. The war with the Kether had been brutal and unrelenting, and while today's victory was significant, it came with the burden of knowing they had unleashed one of humanity's deadliest weapons. Hours passed with no immediate retaliation from the Kether. It was an unusual silence, one that only deepened the crew's unease. The Perseverance remained on high alert, sensors sweeping the surrounding space for any sign of enemy activity. Then, without warning, a series of anomalies appeared on the radar. At first, they were dismissed as glitches, residual interference from the nuclear detonation. But the anomalies persisted, growing in number and intensity. Commander, we're detecting multiple energy signatures, Ensign Patel reported, her voice tinged with confusion. They're converging on our position. Rodriguez's eyes narrowed. On screen, the main screen flickered to life, displaying a chaotic array of data. Strange pulsating energy readings converged from all directions, forming a rapidly tightening net around the Perseverance. Shields up. All hands to battle stations. Rodriguez barked, the bridge erupting into organized chaos. The energy signatures coalesced into visible forms, glowing, amorphous entities that defied conventional understanding. They moved with purpose, encircling the ship in a shimmering cage of light. The crew watched in stunned silence as the entities began to emit a resonant hum, their glow intensifying. Before anyone could react, a powerful surge of energy coursed through the ship, sending systems haywire. Lights flickered, consoles sparked, and the bridge was plunged into a tumultuous storm of failing electronics. Damage report. Rodriguez shouted, gripping the edge of her console as the ship shuddered violently. Massive energy overload. Lieutenant Chun called out. Systems are failing across the board. Shields, weapons, engines all offline. The hum from the entities grew louder, a deafening crescendo that resonated deep within the bones. It was as if the ship itself was crying out in agony, the metallic hull groaning under the strain. In the midst of the chaos, Captain Harris's voice cut through the noise. Commander, we need to get out of here. Whatever these things are, they're tearing us apart. Rodriguez knew he was right, but with the ship crippled, escape seemed impossible. She clenched her fist, searching for a solution. Lieutenant Chun, can we divert power to the jump drive? We need to make a short-range jump, anything to get us out of this trap. Chen's fingers flew over his console, fighting against the failing systems. I can try, but it won't be pretty. We're risking a core meltdown if the drive fails mid-jump. Do it, Rodriguez ordered. It's our only chance. The ship shuddered again, more violently this time, as the jump drive powered up. The bridge was a cacophony of alarms and urgent commands, the crew's faces lit by the flickering glow of emergency lights. Jump drive activated, Chun reported, his voice tight with concentration. Initiating jump in 3, 2, 1. The Perseverance lurched forward, the stars stretching into elongated streaks of light as the ship tore through the fabric of space. The oppressive hum from the entities faded, replaced by the familiar disorienting sensation of faster-than-light travel. Moments later, they emerged from the jump, the view screen showing the serene emptiness of deep space. The ship was battered but intact, the immediate danger seemingly behind them. Rodriguez exhaled, the tension in her shoulders easing slightly. Status report. Jump was successful, Chun said, his relief palpable. We're clear of the entities, but we've sustained heavy damage. It'll take time to get systems back online. Rodriguez nodded, her mind already racing with the implications of what they had just encountered. Good work, everyone. Let's get repairs underway and figure out what the hell those things were. And someone please give me a direct line to command. They need to know what happened here. The bridge settled into an uneasy calm as the crew began assessing the damage. Emergency lighting cast long shadows over faces worn with exhaustion and tension. Sparks danced from damaged consoles, while the acrid smell of burnt wiring lingered in the air. Crew members worked with grim efficiency, their focus unwavering despite the monumental task ahead. For Commander Rodriguez, the reprieve felt temporary. She leaned against her console, studying the data feed that still flickered sporadically on the damaged screen. "Commander," Harris said, approaching her with a slight limp, his face smudged with soot. "We need to talk about what just happened back there. Those things weren't Kether." His tone was low, meant only for her ears. Rodriguez didn't look up, her eyes locked on the incomplete readings. "I know, but that doesn't make them any less of a threat. Whatever they were, they wanted us dead, or worse." Harris hesitated, then leaned closer. "And what if we provoke them? That nuke wasn't exactly subtle. We might have woken something up we weren't prepared to deal with." Rodriguez finally turned to meet his gaze, her expression unreadable. "We were prepared to deal with the Kether, not this." She gestured vaguely at the fractured screen. "But you're not wrong. We need answers, and fast." The bridge doors hissed open, and Lieutenant Chun entered, cradling a portable console. His uniform was stained, but he moved with the determined stride of someone clutching vital information. "Commander, I've got preliminary data on those entities. It's incomplete, but you want to see this?" Rodriguez nodded, motioning for Chun to join them at the central table. The portable console displayed fragmented scans, chaotic streams of energy readings that defied established physics. Pulsating patterns formed and dissolved, their chaotic structure mesmerizing and unsettling. "They're not biological," Chun began, his voice tinged with both awe and dread. "At least not in any way we can define. They're composed of some kind of energy field, self-sustaining and adaptive. It's like they're alive, but they're also not." Harris frowned. "Sentient energy fields? That's new." "It gets worse," Chun continued. He tapped the console, and the image shifted to show the entity's behavior. "They didn't just attack us. They were analyzing us. Every system they hit, shields, weapons, propulsion, it's like they were learning how we worked. If we hadn't jumped when we did..." His voice trailed off, leaving the unspoken conclusion hanging in the air. Rodriguez straightened, her mind racing. "If they're learning, then they'll adapt. We can't assume that running once will work again." "Agreed," Harris said grimly. "And we have no idea if they're still following us, or how far their reach extends. Rodriguez turned back to Chun. What about the Kether? Any sign they're aware of these entities? Chun hesitated. None that we've detected. But the timing is suspicious. The moment we wiped out their base, these things appeared. It could be a coincidence, or it could be connected. We just don't know yet. Rodriguez's jaw tightened. Then we need to assume the worst. Give me a direct line to command. I want every scrap of data we've gathered transmitted back to them. And contact our science teams. I don't care if they have to work around the clock. We need answers. Harris gave a small, tired nod. Understood. But, Commander, we should also prepare for the possibility that we're on our own out here. Rodriguez didn't respond immediately, her eyes fixed on the chaotic energy patterns on the console. Finally, she said, we always are.